Hi girls, it's Linda. I have some questions to answer, I believe. As you can see in the background, that's my house, and this is our property in Wollonga, South Australia. Chelsea asked about the weather. I did touch on that before. Remember, Australia is a large island stretching from just below Papua New Guinea. That's the tip of Queensland, that's the topmost part of the country. And the southern part of our country is actually not a long way from Antarctica. So the southern tip of Tasmania, that tiny little island at the bottom, is pretty near to Antarctica. Now, Australia is about the same size as the USA mainland. So just think California to New York, Texas right up to the Canadian border. That's about the same size that Australia is. Hi, this one's for Ruth. Ruth asked about animals. We tend to have things like cats, dogs, birds in cages, fish in tanks, the usual household pets. But wilder animals, we have kangaroos that live in the rural area. Nobody has them as house pets, you're not allowed, unless you have a special licence, and they're not all that fun as a house pet. My house, my property, is on the edge of the rural suburb area, so I can tell you I have had experience driving the car along the country road and have a kangaroo jump out in front of me, crossing the road in front of my car. It's a scary thing when it happens. Koalas, remember, koalas are not bears, they are marsupials. Look that one up, marsupial. They sleep 23 hours every day and they eat only one type of leaf. So for 1 hour a day, that's all they want to do is eat. The rest of the time they sleep. They live in the eucalypt trees. Now eucalypts, the actual leaves of that tree, the oil is poisonous to any other animal. We have possums, who are also marsupials. That means they carry their babies in a pouch on their front. Continuing on for animals, snakes. Yes, we do get snakes in Australia. There are apparently 140 different types. But remember, this is a huge country. Snakes don't like humans, they don't like noise, so generally speaking, they avoid us. Don't go hunting them, don't go looking under rocks or piles of dead wood, and you won't find a snake. Spiders and insects, like anyone else. We have flies, we have mosquitoes, dragonflies, crickets. We do have venomous spiders, the poisonous ones, but they're tiny and they stay in secluded parts, so don't go rummaging through, as I say, garden rubbish or anything. Keep your properties clean and you won't be bothered with spiders. You tend not to find them inside houses, not the dangerous ones, just the usual ones. Okay, Mackenzie, you asked about what foods we like to eat. Well, we are human beings. We eat pretty much what every human being eats. We have cereal or toast for breakfast, sandwiches for lunch, maybe sometimes roast meat or something with rice for dinner. As for takeaways, in this country we have Hungry Jack's, which is your Burger King. We have McDonald's, which is pretty big here, bigger than it is over there. We have Pizza Hut, we have KFC, we have Chinese takeaway. We have one of those in our town, a Chinese takeaway, that also does fish and chips. And we're not fans of fish and chips. Australian food. Okay, foods that we have here that nobody else tends to have. The first thing would be Vegemite. Look that one up. It's a spread for toast and crackers. It's salty. I hate it. But children, my husband, my grandchildren, love it. And we're not allowed to take it to the US. Apparently there's an ingredient inside that is forbidden into your country. Not that it's poisonous or anything, it's just not allowed in your country, which suits me fine. Other Australian foods that we love, desserts. We've got pavlova, which is meringue base with cream and fruit on top. We have lamingtons, which are a sponge cake covered in chocolate sauce, I suppose, and then dipped in coconut. We make Anzac biscuits. Now, a biscuit to us is a cookie. It's sweet, and Anzac biscuits. It's a tradition, usually made and eaten on April the 25th. That's a bit like your Veterans Day. Cassidy wants to know about butterflies. I suggest you Google search Australian butterflies, and that will show you what we have here. There are apparently over 400 types of butterfly. You asked about girl guides, or you call them scouts. I don't think we call them girl guides anymore. I think we call them guides because we're not allowed to discriminate boys against girls. Yes, we have guides. My children, who are now in their 30s, my two daughters went to guides when they were 10, 11, 12 or so. They learned cooking, knot tying, and so forth. And our roads are different. So our motor cars have the steering wheel on the right side of the vehicle, and the cars all travel on the left side of the road. What's another thing? Oh, we have summer in December, January and February. We don't have any fall. We don't have a season called fall because our trees do not lose their leaves. They stay green all year round, so there is no falling of leaves. So we call that autumn. And then, of course, our winter is the same as your summer, same time as your summer. And we're back. Here is the view from the road of my house. Okay, Australia has an indigenous population. They're called the Aborigines. They've been here for thousands and thousands of years. Because each group or each tribe of Aborigine lived independently of others, they each developed their own languages. So at the moment, recorded, there are 45 different languages that are still spoken amongst the Aborigines. And in the country of Australia in total, we apparently have more than 200 languages being spoken. However, we all learn English as our basic language. Here's the width of our country. Yes, I found these fun facts. Australia is as wide as the distance from London to Moscow. Now look that up on your atlas. It's also about the same distance from the west coast of Australia to the east coast of Australia as it is from California to New York. It was originally settled in the 1800s by prisoners from England. They were sent to Australia as convicts, and their punishment was to build roads and settle the country, make the country livable. What else have we got? Oh, the dingo fence. If you want to, Google that. It's called dingo fence. Dingo is a wild dog. There's a fence in Australia that is 3,480 miles long, which was intended to keep the dingoes away from cattle and sheep. That's in the centre of the country. And finally, kangaroos and emus, that's the bird with no wings, cannot walk backwards. And apparently that's why they were selected to be on Australia's coat of arms. Hope that was fun. Bye.